There's no denying that 2015 has been a great year for games. We've had The Witcher 3, Fallout 4, Star Wars Battlefront, Halo 5, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Metal Gear Solid 5, Super Mario Maker, Mad Max. The list is massive. But take a step back, and there's more than a few common themes that keep appearing. Here's what gaming trends we saw in 2015. Games became massive. Have you finished The Witcher 3? Fallout 4, Batman Arkham Knight, Just Cause 3, Mad Max, Bloodborne, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Metal Gear Solid 5? Well then, congratulations. You're statistically certain to need to see a doctor. Single-player AAA games have been transitioning from tight action to enormous open worlds for years, but 2015 felt like the moment the tidal wave hit after years of surging build-up. Old favourites returned, while games like MGS changed completely to adopt the style. Animal helpers, mostly dogs. AI companions are stupid. They get stuck on doors, disappear between lines of code, and get their physics all confused. The solution? Make them dogs. Fallout's Dogmeat, the Phantom Pain's D-Dog, Mad Max's Dinky D, ATSTs in Star Wars Battlefront. Oh come on, they look like overgrown laser dogs, admit it. We've had a ton of four-legged friends this year, all of whom are adorably thick.
Let's go, pal.
Season passes. It wouldn't be a year in gaming without one hunk of industry bullshit to sniff. This year, the great business devil manifested itself in season passes that cost close to the price of a second game, and rarely justified the price. Batman Arkham Knight was the worst defender with a slew of post-release content, but almost all managed to disappoint in some key way. Hard as it may be, let's not forget the game that 2015 forgot, Evolve. With 2 separate season passes plus $10 of more DLC to buy beyond them, it kicked off this little movement and somehow it didn't end it. Star Wars Battlefront and Call of Duty Black Ops 3 both have ongoing $50 passes. We hope they make us change our mind about the practice. We doubt they will. Remake culture. Maybe there's just a finite number of ideas, huh? From the console giants of Gears of War and Uncharted, to undersung gems like Darksiders or DMC, 2015 has seen an explosive uptake on tweaked, up-resed offerings. And hey, if developers don't have the time to spend on a shiny side project, console makers have started allowing for the next big thing. Backwards compatibility has popped up on Xbox One, and PS4 got PS2 emulation, and what with Final Fantasy VII being the biggest story at a games conference in 2015 twice, we can safely say this looks like a pattern that's here to stay. Episodic means something new. Trends warp and change over time. If you'd asked us last year, we'd have said Telltale Games formula was the next big thing, and we'd have been right. Telltale and others have been steaming out episodic adventure games at a mighty pace, but 2015 saw something a little more interesting. Episodic didn't necessarily denote a new age point-and-click adventure anymore. Resident Evil Revelations 2 is the best example, a well-paced collection of classic Resi survival horror that could have been a mere side note, but became something of an event with every new piece of its staggered release. Now that Final Fantasy VII is being actively split into episodes, I think we can consider the format a little more substantial. Everyone has a grappling hook. As open worlds get bigger, walking and even driving gets duller. That's why everyone's brought in to the Rico Rodriguez method of getting themselves a grappling hook. Just Cause 3 and Batman Arkham Knight were always going to lead the charge, but Lara added a new kind of grapple to her armory in Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Assassin's Creed, a series almost entirely about the pleasure of climbing buildings, added the rope launcher, which lets you bypass the process entirely. Uncharted 4's got one, Dishonored 2 lets you zip around using thick tentacles, and even Mirror's Edge Catalyst is adding a mag rope. In 2016, prepare to fly, behind very strong ropes. Licensed music.
Step in front of a runaway train.
People still talk about the Mexico moment in Red Dead Redemption. It made that game seem peerlessly cool, and it's a testament to the effect of the right bit of music. And 2015's games have been using that technique to good effect. Hotline Miami 2 had just as good an ambience as the original, Life is Strange's indie folk soundtrack was as much a clue to Max Clawfield's character as the dialogue, and James Blake's Retrograde made Tales from the Borderlands' final episode start with an unexpectedly mournful bang. And then of course Hideo Kojima created one of the greatest collectibles of all time in the form of his own favourite 80s music. Sports likes went mainstream. The sports like has been building up pace for a while, mixing gaming fantasy and sporting relatability to make for surreal experiences we can all understand on a mechanical level. And then Rocket League happened. Car football is about as good a distillation of this weirdo genre as you can get, and it proved that by becoming everyone's favourite game for a couple of months, kicking off tournaments and thousands upon thousands of goal gifts on social media sites. Persistent online modes. You might want largely single player games to feel a little less isolated. You might want to keep players hooked into the multiplayer feedback loop. The answer has become the same for both approaches. Add features that keep playing with or without you. The simplest way is to introduce worldwide competitions. Odd Bedfellows Splatoon and Mortal Kombat X both had players choosing sides in a war and then completing challenges to win it. Then there are the stranger takes. Xenoblade Chronicles X lets your friends hire your main character as an NPC, leading to a constant struggle to make him or her look cooler than everyone else's protagonist. You can tell the trend's really kicked off when it starts popping up where it's not needed. MGS5's forward operating base management invasion system was a cool idea, but in principle became a stressful hassle to keep up and protect. Fire and a weapon. Rise of the Tomb Raider, fire and a weapon. Bloodborne, fire and a weapon. The Witcher 3 technically had fire and a weapon. Fire was hot in 2015, need we say more? And that's your lot for gaming trends of 2015. Make sure you subscribe to catch our Games of the Year and Games of Next Year videos coming soon, and let us know if you've seen any other trends in the comments below.